What's up, guys, and welcome to Kickback and Chill. And today, Friday, September 23rd, Power 106 own street team member Dejaahboo is in the building to discuss her journey at the radio station and more. Coming to you from Midtown, New York City. So kick back, relax, and have some fun, because Kickback and Chill starts right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to Eminem's Kickback and Chill. I'm your host, DNYC, and we the only show where you can kick back, relax, and have some fun on this Friday afternoon in Midtown, New York City. I'm super excited as always. We're doing a virtual interview today with somebody from LA. She's part of the street team member and MC for Power 106, and she's also known for doing podcasts, hosting events, and so much more out there in LA. Super excited. I wish she was here on the East Coast, man, but that's okay. Show some love for Dejaahboo. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yes, I feel like it's long overdue. Now, I stumbled across your page during COVID. Well, before I really go in detail, how are you doing during this time? 'Cause I know COVID is slightly still around.
You know, I'm great. You know, LA is definitely opening up. More events are happening every weekend. I'm starting to get booked. Like, summer is looking real good.
Yeah.
So if you can come out here, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've never been to the West Coast, so I'm like, speaking to somebody from the West Coast who is in the same field as myself is amazing. But, you know, let's just jump straight in. Like, where did the love for, like, you know, radio and television, like, where did it come from? How you get started in this stuff?
You know what's funny is it's gonna be a crazy story. So don't
do you think? We got all day. It's all right. Do you think?
So I initially wanted to do sports medicine. I was an athlete through high school, college, and you know, I wanted to stay in that field. Went to school, did a year, and I found out I did not like science whatsoever. I went to Orange Coast College, found out it wasn't for me, but I have been in love with Chris Brown.
I can see it. I can see the folks.
Since he's been out, and you know, when I was, you know, young and immature, I used to, you know, really stalk him. So I always wanted to work for TMZ. Real life, it was really bad. But I've, you know, now that I've met him and, you know, being in the industry, you like calm down from like all the celebrity, you know, the stargazing, I guess. So I always wanted to work for TMZ. But it didn't work out, and you know, my boyfriend at the time was like, hey, maybe you should just you know, work on the radio, try to get an internship. So I was like, okay, fuck it. Oh, can we cuss? Sorry.
It's okay.
So I applied randomly to Power 106, and I started interning with DJ Felly Fell for about a year. Our connection is still strong. I just posted about him yesterday. You know, so he really got me into the love of it, you know, being in the studio, being on air, learning the behind the scenes, especially with like an OG like him.
Yes, sir.
You know, learning from somebody who's been in the game for so long is precious.
Yes.
And, I appreciate him so much. He's taught me so much game, but technically I didn't even want to do TV, radio until I started interning with him. And he opened the door for me, and I fell in love. I really did.
And I'm glad you said, you know, how this guy pretty much took you under your wing, because let's be transparent. I hear this industry is very cutthroated, and that it's hard for people nowadays to take a chance on you if they don't know you. So it seemed like by him doing that, it was kind of like a weight lifted off your shoulders, like, all right, cool, you get to show me the ropes, and then you was able to join Power 106. I'm always seeing like Instagram posts like you're doing something like out in the scenes. You know, talk about like your role at the station, and you know, how do you, and what's your daily, what is it like on a daily week? Because I know you're pretty busy.
Yeah, so as far as street team goes, we go out in the streets, we go to concert events, businesses, we have contracts with like Cricket Wireless, WSS, we just did Converse, any company that wants us to go out, play music, MC, interact with people. We're basically the promotions of the station. We go out, you know, like I said, interact with fans, give out t-shirts, hats, all of that great stuff. So, you know, every weekend I'm out in the streets, you know, trying to get my show on the radio someday. So that's the steps, baby steps going up in the industry. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, I'm kind of curious, kind of be a little nervous. I'm kind of curious to know, well, I'm pretty sure you've seen celebrities at the station. Who would you say was your, I don't want to throw you on the spot, but who was like your most favorite? And it's like, you was starstruck, but you had to keep your composure.
You know what?
No,
It's
man.
funny. Okay, so to answer your question, your like specific question, it would be Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion, she came in. This is when Hot Girl Summer came out.
Yeah.
And the whole Do Say thing, Drive the Boat, she did that with me. That was crazy. But if you follow Power 106, Nick Cannon ended up coming to the morning show.
Mm-hmm.
And I had seen him walk past with like a bunch of security, and that was probably crazy for me, because I was just like, damn, like Nick Cannon is right in front of me right now. Like, and he's well known. Like,
Very,
not to say Meg's not well known, but like he was like in the station, like, and he was so humble, he was so nice. He takes pictures with anybody, he answers all your questions. Like, he's really a humble dude. So those are probably my top two.
Okay, cool. Now, aside from being at the station, it seems like you're definitely, you're always doing podcasts as well. You started in the stew, but I see you also doing vibing with Dejaahboo. Tell us how these ideas came about, because everything correlates with one another.
Right, exactly. So our Power 106 Street team decided to start our own podcast called Flavor Unit Podcast. Make sure you guys follow it on Instagram. And I guess within the stew, I kind of started doing music reviews, but I focused more on interviews. So now I'm getting people's music to kind of review them, because a lot of people ask for my feedback, ask for me to listen to it, so I'm giving that platform to even spread it out, give my feedback. I have guests on there, and also, bringing it to everybody who are my fans, who do listen, give them a chance to give their feedback. I've known, I think it was the second episode, there was one person that got a lot of feedback from me, my guests, and other people. So that was amazing for them, and they really appreciated all the feedback.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So that was my goal with that. So, yeah.
Okay. On the east side, on the East Coast, the sound, everyone's sound is somewhat similar, right? I'm curious to know what's the music like there, like in the West Coast? Because on the east side, we got Lil TJ, we have, a bunch of artists in the game, and then, as you can see, there's a lot of local artists coming up. I want to know, what is it like, for, artists on the West Coast? What's the sound like over there, and what advice do you give these artists who's coming up?
So I would say the sound is very different where you're going. So originally I'm from the Bay Area, and we like to get hypey, but we like to get hypey, we like to dance, we like to get ratchet. So that up there is mainly dancing, right?
Right.
When I came down to LA, it was really different, because you think of Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Calabasas, all those uppity is really bougie. So they'll play the music, but nobody's really dancing. Everybody's, just cute, holding their bottle and bottle service, stuff like that. So I think it really depends on what area, because some areas could get more ratchet than others. But as far as advice to people, my number one thing is make music for your audience.
Absolutely.
Music for your audience. I think that's like number one key, because you may fuck with that song, your team may fuck with that song. That might be you, but is that what your audience wants to hear? You know what I mean? You're not buying your singles, you're not buying your albums, your fans. So you always want to make music for your fans, and I think that's a problem with upcoming artists, for me, what I've been seeing.
Absolutely. And I agree too. I feel like most times people try to do things for social media. I mean, understand social media is now the platform where you have to build your fans, because it's not just a number. It's not just having 10K followers, because, okay, you have 10K followers, but is that 10K or 10,000 people going to come to your showcase if you told them that I'm having a showcase in a month? Or, did 10,000 people listen to your song? Did you get 10,000 streams? Now, people do get it, but it's more than just posting a song on social media. It's more than just uploading. It seems like there's a lot of marketing. There's a lot of doing press on your own. Like, not everybody is gonna make it in the beginning. It's definitely a big investment, you know, and many people may not see that, their return of investment, their ROI in the beginning. Maybe when you break into the industry, maybe not right now, you know, and I feel like many times artists can feel like, okay, well, I feel like I got so much music, but I don't know what to do, you know. Is it hard sometimes, you know, to have somebody who's consistent and they don't know what to do next because they feel like they're giving the people what they want?
Yes, I definitely think so. I think that is, you know, we have a lot of CB listers who are ready for that next step, who are ready to be on the radio, who are ready to go on tour, but they don't have, the fans or the genuine people who would take their time to go to a concert or stream their music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's trying to find that balance of your true fans and, you know, just people that are going to go out of your way to support you, whether that's family, friends, you know. So I think it's definitely hard to be independent, and I feel like that's why a lot of people want to go to labels, but you know, the labels only make your name known and taking your money. So it just depends, you know.
And I'm happy you said that, you know, because I talk with a lot of people on the show all the time. It's always the question. I always ask them, you know, do you want to get signed to a major record label or do you want to remain independent? There's pros and cons to both. I see a lot of people nowadays creating their own record labels so they can keep 100% of their royalty and masters. Would you recommend that route, or would you feel like they just remain independent and just don't even think about a label?
I feel like if you create your own, I feel like it's still independent because it's all going back to you anyway. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's better to be independent. You can do it independently. There are still artists now. A good example is Eric Bellinger.
Right.
100% independent, but he's a songwriter for labels. So you can basically have, you know, if you're a distribution producer, exactly, use that money to fund your independent career. So that is the best route I think that you should take, because I think Queen Naja or Naja, I'm not sure how to say her name, but she just did an interview too, and you know, she's struggling to make it on certain radio, and that's because she's independent.
Okay.
So I think staying independent is better.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break, but up next, more with Dejaahboo. Plus, kind of want to know more what she does outside of media, so we're going to get in depth with that, okay? So keep it locked and stay tuned.